Digital IDs, biometrics, global surveillance systems, these are all foundational elements of a police state. A police state that many of us living out here in Thailand are trying to get away from. Hey, what is up, guys? This is Brett here from BrettDev.com, and welcome back to the channel. Now, in this video, I want to talk about what I'm seeing in the news and whether or not I feel like Thailand is going to become a police state. But before I do that, before we start talking about it, if you are sick of living in a current literal police state, like the UK, like the US, like Canada, like Australia or whatever, and you want to move to Thailand, but you're not sure whether or not you can do it, maybe you're not sure if you have enough money, maybe you think you need to start an online business and all this other crap, check out this brand new tool that I've created. You can click on the link down in the description, or you go to escapingthewest.com. And basically what it will do is it will forecast a timeline for you and show you exactly how to do it without doing any of those things, without starting a business, without making any more money. And it will show you how to do it based on what you already have. Thailand fundamentally has a couple of problems, a couple of real serious problems. Firstly, it has an organized crime problem with people coming in from all over the world, criminals, murderers, drug traffickers, all this other stuff. And it needs to kind of get a grip on who's coming in and out of the country, which I have absolutely no problem with. And that is a real serious issue. The reason Thailand haven't really got as good of a grip as other countries is because up until recently, their kind of immigration system was kind of antiquated in a way. It wasn't really digitalized as well as it should have been, probably harder to keep track of people. They do still try to keep track through like 90-day reports and all of this other stuff. But fundamentally, Thailand are rolling out a lot of this stuff for that exact reason. However, like we know, this is usually the what they say they're rolling out for, but really there's a much bigger thing going on, right? It's like give up a little bit of security and you lose your liberty, right? We've seen this happen in the West. So I think a lot of expats are fundamentally afraid that this is kind of like the beginning stages of Thailand following suit. Now, there are a few important factors that you have to bear in mind. Like, you can't simply look at Thailand like you look at all other countries. Yes, it's rolling out these systems because it has real serious issues that it needs to fix and address. But it also goes along with a lot of these things because of international pressure. And I really feel that this is the big thing that we need to look at, international pressure. So on the world stage, Thailand is not a superpower, right? Everybody knows that. There's lots of countries in the world that aren't superpowers. You've got the Western powers, the US, the UK, and then you've got China, right? And Thailand is kind of like crammed in the middle of them, right? It does business with China. It does business with the West. It does business with all other different countries across the world. Now, we all know China is the global model in terms of a surveillance state, right? It always has been the plan to bring the whole world onto the Chinese model. This all happened in 1971 when Henry Kissinger went over to China. It was called his secret visit. And coincidentally, I think this was a month before Nixon took the US off of the gold standard, right? So this has been the plan for a very, very long time, over 50 years. And they're finally moving towards implementing it, right? They rebuilt China from the ground up, and they rebuilt it based on the system that they want globally, which is a complete government controlled. You can't buy food if you don't have an ID. You can't get a taxi if you don't have an ID. You can't leave your house. You can't travel. Sounds very familiar to something that happened recently, but we'll get into that in just a moment. They're trying to roll this out all across the world. And small countries like Thailand can't stand out to these empires like China and the United States. They're influenced both politically and economically by these countries. This has been true for a very, very long time. External powers, primarily the West, have tried to influence smaller nations over the years, and they don't do so with standing armies. They can bring a country down financially and through like covert operations. They influence the political landscape. They've done this time and time again. If you look at 1997, George Soros was famous for collapsing the Thai baht.
In the last 2 years, you've been blamed for financial collapse of Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Japan, and Russia.
Yeah, all of the above.
All of the above.
Yeah.
Are you that powerful?
No, I think there's a great misunderstanding. I am basically there to make money. I cannot and do not look at the social consequences of what I do.
This is financial and economic warfare. And so if a country like Thailand, not just Thailand, but if smaller countries don't go along with like the orders from these superpowers, they're kind of going to get fucked, right? So they have to play ball. And that's exactly what Thailand is really, really good at. Okay, so what Thailand say they're going to do on the surface and what they actually do are often two very different things. And to understand this, you need to understand the history of Thailand. So Thailand is one of the only countries in the world that has never been conquered. Thailand avoided colonialism whilst all of its neighbors around it were colonized. Thailand famously avoided getting stuck into the Second World War. There was some stuff that happened in the Second World War, the Japanese come in, but Thailand would switch sides. Right? They're very good at going along to get along, nodding their heads, smiling, yes, we'll go along with you. And then kind of just when the tide shifts, they shift with it, right? There's some really, really good books on this. And I strongly recommend, if you're interested in this kind of stuff, that you read them about Thailand during the Second World War, how it kind of played both sides and how it avoided, getting involved and getting stuck in conflict. They are absolute fucking masters at doing this, geniuses at basically, maintaining their sovereignty, maintaining their independence, whilst at the same time agreeing with what the global superpowers tell them they should be doing. And the reason for this is because this is deeply, deeply embedded, not just in the Thai system, but in the Thai culture. The Thais care primarily about their identity and their sovereignty. They always have. Their top leaders throughout centuries have prioritized this as number one. They want Thailand to remain Thai, they want it to remain independent, and they want it to keep its identity. Unlike a lot of the countries where we're from, like the UK, where I'm from, where, our cultures and our identities have just been completely just pissed down the drain, basically. Thailand doesn't do that, but it will go along to get along. Right? So my opinion is that a lot of this stuff that we see with the digital IDs and the, this tyrannical police state world that is being built, because this is no longer like a national thing. This isn't we're going to colonize you, we colonize your neighbors. This isn't like we're going to go to war with you, we're going to war with them. This is a global thing. They're trying to implement this globally across the planet, okay, in every single nation on Earth. However, if history isn't enough to give you the confidence in the Thais' ability to resist all manner of global changes, there was one very, very recent event that I think we could look at and that we could kind of get a picture for how things would go. It was called the pandemic. It happened a few years ago. Some of you might remember it, okay? Now, I believe that the pandemic was just a big test for what they're planning to implement, right? It was a big data collection system to see, how people would react to it, what people would do. Would people adopt this forced identification type systems? Would they basically adopt the China model, right? That's essentially what it was. And if we look at how Thailand handled it, it did exactly what I'm talking about. It said, yeah, we'll go along to get along, right? All across the world, everything was shut down. Thailand said, oh, we're shutting everything down. Everything's going to shut down. But in reality, anybody that was in Thailand during that time knows that everything wasn't shut down. They implemented some stuff. It was like a little sprinkle. Yeah, we're doing it. Yeah. But the day to day, they did it for a couple of weeks, basically got rid of it. There was a whole period of about 9 months where the whole world was completely locked down and Thailand was wide open. So what they say they're going to do and what they actually do in practice are two very, very different things for the reasons that I've just mentioned. Another reason why I don't believe that Thailand will fully go along with this and will fully implement these systems, or they'll do so with great resistance and drag their feet in a way, is because of the way the country is structured. So Thailand is very similar to the US in a way, where you have the federal government and then you have all the different states that can kind of operate independently, right? So if they're locking you down in New York, then you can just go to Texas where it's open and it's free. Very different to how the UK system works, for example. We're a tiny island and you're under complete surveillance 24/7 and you're under complete control. Much, much easier to control that group of people. Now, Thailand, like I said, operates in a very similar way, and it's still very, very tribal at its core. Thai society is a very tribal society. It's made up of lots of different clans, going back hundreds and hundreds of years. There is a central power base in Thailand, in Bangkok, which tries to influence the rest of the country, but the different provinces they're not controlled as much as they would be if, like in the example of, like I just said, the UK or something like that, right? So structurally, even if Thailand try to bring systems in like this, if there are elements in Thailand that are under heavy influence from external political forces, it's very hard to control the entire country like that. And that's why in COVID, Bangkok had much more stricter controls than Chiang Mai. And then if you went out into some other provinces, it would be like as if COVID wasn't even a thing. People probably didn't even know it was even happening, right? So because of the structure of Thailand as well, not just, their history of resistance and all this stuff, but because of the structure, implementing stuff like this is very, very difficult to do. Okay. So these are all things that we have to look at when it comes to, will Thailand become a tyrannical surveillance system like the rest of the world? External pressures and global superpowers are trying to make them do it. Of course they are. They're trying to do it to every other country. They're trying to do it to every small country on earth. But Thailand historically have always played the same cards. And like I said, they're brilliant at it. They're brilliant at going along to get along. They're brilliant at saying something on the surface, but then it not really happening in real life. And then when the tide changes, they're very quick to go with it, right? So, these are all things that we have to consider. These are the factors that I, think about and that I understand and that give me faith, basically, in Thailand that will it happen? Maybe. But we're going to have to see, okay? And if it does happen, it's probably going to be one of the last places where it does truly happen. For now, it's a hell of a lot freer than living in the UK. It's a hell of a lot freer than living in Canada. And like I say, in my belief, it kind of, hopefully, always will be. But time will tell. Nobody really knows, okay? But don't freak out when you see these articles, when you see this stuff in the news. Do your research, understand the history of Thailand, understand its culture, understand how it's played its part in the past. And also, like I said, understand the structure and how it would even be implemented, even if it could be, right? Because there's a good chance that it would maybe even wouldn't be able to be implemented. Look at what happened in COVID. You don't need to guess what's going to happen. You don't need to guess how this will manifest in Thailand. Okay, compared to other countries. We have a great use case. It was their case study. It was their data collection, trial run, but we got to see it. So it benefits us as well, because we can see, based on what happened 5 years ago, what countries are going to be good, what countries are going to be bad. And Thailand was right up there with the best. Okay, so I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys. And like I said, if you are looking to come to Thailand because you do not like living in a police state, then click on this link right here. Go check out the app that I've built that can show you how you can move here without starting a business but with the money you've currently got. And if you did like this video, guys, then you're probably going to really like this one. That's all for me, and take care.